Hello everyone, I'm Brian.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Jerry.
Today, we will expound on currency exchange rate determination. Through this presentation, we want everyone have deeper understanding on how the view of the currency influenced by the factor. Then we will analyze between two currency of exchange rate. The exchange rate is determined by the supply and demand. So we will compare a given currency to another of currency. And we will expand performance. The AUD compared to USD and the USD compared to GBP over the 6 months. And here we comparing, we will choose one of four in each pair stronger. Various factors which influence the currency view and exchange rate. They include the inflation rate, interest rate, growth rate, and decapitulation. Now I will talking about inflation rate. For current inflation rate, the United States is 1.9%, the United Kingdom is 2.9%, the Australia is 1.9%. For expand the inflation rate, by the end of the second quarter in 2017, the United States is 2%, the United Kingdom is 2.8%, the Australia is 2%. The United States, looking forward, the inflation rate is estimated to be 2.3% in 12 months time. The United Kingdom is 2.7% and Australia is 2.1%. So we will forecast in 12 months time. The Australia inflation rate will be relatively lower than USA, and the United Kingdom inflation rate will be relatively lower than USA. Note the relative inflation rate depends on the trend of the inflation rate change, not the absolute figure. If the country of the currency relatively lower, the price of the commodities trading of the good will decrease, so the country product will have more competitive power in the world, so the country export will increase and import will decrease. As the result, in the demand of domestic currency will decrease and supply in domestic currency will increase. The view will to appreciate of currency. So AUD would appreciate against USD and GBP would both appreciate against USD.
The U.S. Central Bank raised the base interest rate from 0.75 to 1.2% between January and July 2017, and the policy makers are expecting increased rate this year, and the project the interest rate to be at approximately 1.6% by the end of the year. The Bank of England has held the interest rate steady at 0.25%. The Mark Carney, the governor of the Bank of England, and was reported to said it is likely increase its interest rate, but the increase will be very limited and slow. And the Reserve Bank of Australia is cutting its interest rate at 1.5%, and it is likely the interest rate will increase slightly from 3 to 6 months. And the US and GBP interest rates result. Demand of the USD will rise when compared to the demand of the GBP. USD will appreciate more in the value, and the USD and AUD interest rate result. Compared to the United States forecasted interest rate of 1.6%, and the USD will appreciate in value against the AUD.
Now we talk about the relative economic growth rate. The United States had a 2.6% increase in its GDP in quarter 2 2017. At the same period of time, the Office of National Statistics reports that United Kingdom had a 0.3% increase in its GDP. These insurance shows that the United States the economic growth rate in United States is higher than the economic growth rate in United Kingdom. As a result, the demand of USD was greater than the GBP, leading to appreciation of value of USD relative to the GBP. The Australian Bureau of Statistics reports that there has been a 0.8% increase in Australia GDP in quarter 2 2017. Compared to the economic growth rate in United States, it's clear that the economic growth rate in United States is much higher than the economic growth rate in Australia.
The economic implication of Britain inciting to the European Union to the United Kingdom was still unclear. As a result, the traders has not been confident of storing their profit and finance into the GBP currencies because they are still unstable in currently and short term. In the contrast, the USD is very stable, and the performance of the USD against other major currencies will not be affected significantly. And this circumstance suggested that the GBP will depreciate in value against the USD over the next 6 months. And the Reserve of Australia Bank is still increasing the lending interest rates, and this is evidenced by reduced performance of domestic housing market as mortgages have become higher. As a result, there is speculation that the demand for AUD will decrease and the USD will be stable, and depreciation in the value of the AUD when compared to the USD.
In conclusion, USD is expected to strengthen against the GBP. It is therefore expected that USD will appreciate in value relative to GBP in GBP, but since difference in value of USD and the GBP is enormous, the GBP will still be more valuable currency. Currently, the United States economic growth rate in United States is much higher than the economic growth rate in Australia. However, I believe that adjustment in interest rate by Reserve Bank of Australia will prove more effective as the future interest rate in Australia, forecast in Australia, will attract more trader. However, the USD still be strengthened against AUD, and the USD will still be the more stronger currency than other two currencies. Thank you for listening. This is our reference.
Thank you.